Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about how to write equations in slope-intercept form. So the other day we learned how to graph them, but how can I write them given the graph? First thing I want you to do is take a look at your warm-ups. I want you to do questions 1, 2, and 3. Hit pause. When you're done, hit play and check your work. All right, first one's a negative slope. We went down 1 over 5. And then for number 2, we went up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3 for a positive slope. And the same thing for 3, we have a positive slope. We went up 5 and over 2. So the slope is the change in x over the change in y. And then we're looking today also at the y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-axis? The very first thing I want to do is find the y-intercept. Now remember, that's where it crosses the y-axis. So if I look here, it crosses the y-axis. Remember, x is 0 because we're not going to move left or right, and we're only going up. So here, our x, it crosses the y-axis at 5. So y equals 5. Now, the second thing, oops, not y. Oh my gosh, so silly. That's b. I'm sorry, b equals 5. The second thing I want to do is find the slope. The slope, again, is change in y over change in x. So slope is m. I'm going to go down 3, so I have a negative slope, and over 2. So I've got a slope of negative 3 halves and a y-intercept of b. Remember, my equation is y equals mx plus b. This here is slope-intercept form. Because, well, we have slope and we have an intercept. So all we need to do is replace b and m. So my m is negative 3 halves x, and my y-intercept is b. So we have our answer here, except b is 5. It was a bad 5. All right, so now let's take a look here at example b. So my slope is positive, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2, 3. So my slope is 5/3. It crosses the y-intercept or the y-axis at negative 3. So if I'm still looking at the slope-intercept form, I have y equals mx plus b. So now all I have to do is replace m and b. So I've got 5/3 x. Now keep in mind this is at negative 3, so I have minus 3. So the equation of this line is y equals 5/3 x minus 3. All right, on your own, I want you to go ahead and try these two. Hit pause, come back, check your work. All right, for 1, our slope was 2 and our y-intercept was 2, giving us an equation of y equals 2x plus 2. For question 2, our slope was negative, so I went down 4 over 3, giving me a slope of negative 4/3 and a y-intercept of negative 1. That's where it crossed the y-axis, giving me an answer of y equals negative 4/3 x minus 1. So now, what is the equation of this graph? Well, this is a very special line because my slope is, well, let's look at, it's not going up, it's not going down. Right here, that means we have a 0 slope, okay? Now remember, a vertical line is undefined, but a horizontal line here, my slope is 0. Where does it cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses right there at negative 4. So what does that look like then? So I'd have y equals 0x minus 4, which, as you can tell, is not any of my answers here. But remember, any number times 0 is, well, 0. So my equation here is 0 times x is 0. So 0 minus 4 is 4, or negative 4, I'm sorry. So that means my answer here is A. Remember, horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Now, vertical lines are a whole nother story. Those have an undefined slope. Okay, so let's take a look here at a real-life example. The graph shows the distance remaining to complete a tunnel. Write an equation that represents the distance y in feet remaining after x months. How much time does it take to complete the tunnel? So, all right, first thing we're going to do is find m and b. So if I look right here, what's nice is my graph is labeled at 0, 3,500. So b is 3,500. Now my slope is negative. I'm going down, let's see, the difference between 3,500 and 1,500. That's 2,000 over 4. So that means m is negative 500. So now I can write my equation here. So remember, it's in the form of y equals mx plus b. So I have y equals my slope of negative 500x plus 3,500. Now, b, how much time does it take to complete the tunnel? If I look right down here, it's going to take me 7 months. All right, go ahead on your own. 3 and 4, hit pause, come back, and let's take a look. All right, let's see how you did. Now, right here, if my x is 0, this is my y-intercept. So I know what my b is going to be. And then I've got my slope here. So I've got change in y over change in x. So 5 minus 5 over 4 minus 0, which gives me 0 over 4, which is a 0 slope. So if I replace my m and b, I've got 0x plus 5, so I have a horizontal line of y equals 5. Now, if I take a look at 4, same thing, change in y over change in x. I end up with a slope of negative 400. My b is 3,500, because remember, when x is 0, I have my y-intercept. That means we don't go left or right, we go straight up or down. So in this case, we're going up 3,500, so this is my y-intercept. So I have y equals negative 400x plus 3,500. Great job, everybody. Have a wonderful day.